Okay, before I get into the game, there's a press release that I just received, so I want to go through a little bit about the game and some of the things that they go through in the press article. But anyway, Solarix is a stealth psychological adventure game with some horror elements, and made on the UDK engine. Obviously made by a small team working on the game from all corners of the planet, it has been in development for 4 years. In Solarix, you play as Walter, an electrical engineer who wakes up one day to find everything he ever knew destroyed by a deadly virus, with only a rogue AI to help him navigate the harsh world of Ankara. His only option is escape. The gameplay is based around light and shadows. If you're not in the light, you light up like a Christmas tree to the AI and will be hunted down lethally. Now that's basically all you need to know as of right now. So, you know, the game isn't a shooter. It does say this in this article thing. It may look like a shooter, but it's not. Ammo is really scarce and you have to use it wisely, because otherwise you're going to run out, because there's not really much of it. So anyway, let's get into it. Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Rampage and welcome to my first impressions for Solarix. Now Solarix is developed by Pulsetense games, and this is their first game being published. So I don't know, just take that with a grain of salt, but I want to let you guys know that I was a game tester for Solarix, but I will try and keep the bias, you know, non-biased. I do have a few issues with the game that haven't been fixed yet, because I did run through it a little bit beforehand to see if a lot of things were changed or whatever they changed, because this is a different build than what I had a few weeks ago. But yeah, let's get into it. So the game settings is not really too special, but you see mouse sensitivity, toggle crouching, and invert lookup. Now, for me, personally, I would prefer a mouse sensitivity slider with the value on top or to the right. But, you know, that's just me, because I don't really know what this means unless I'm actually looking at a slider that says this is the full, you know, whatever, and then this is the lowest, whatever. But, anyway. Wait, I swear I just clicked audio then, but anyway. Resolution 1920 by 1080, gamma at 1.0. Not sure why that. Wait, what? Sorry about that. I don't really know what the hell just happened, but okay, the UI busted. But yeah. Anyway, full screen. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Full screen, texture quality high, or VSync. I have VSync disabled, as you can see. But yeah, Pulsetense, fix that menu, please. Would be good. But I would like to see, I'll get into this in a second, but I would like to see a voice volume as well as, yeah, because you'll notice why I'm saying that as well, but I don't know whether the voice is in music, ambient volume, or sound effects. It could be in sound effects or it could be in music, because I've played it before, but it sounded less than the overall ambient volume, which is a little bit strange, I think. But yeah, the controls are fully rebindable, so if I go restore defaults, you can see that crouch is left control, jump is Z for some reason, and use is spacebar. The reason behind that, apparently, according to one of the developers that I've been talking to, it's a old school style stealth game, and they wanted to go with old school styled controls, apparently. But other than that, it's a little bit strange to me as well. But let's get into it. So Solarix is a stealth horror game, apparently. For me, I don't really think it's that scary, but you know, it's an indie game, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But anyway, there's no FOV. I don't know what this FOV is. I believe it's 90, but I prefer to have my FOV at either 100 or 110. It's nice that they have the command still here, but I don't know if they're going to keep the command. Please, Pulsetense, keep that command line. You may have to lock a few things, but you know, right now it's perfect. So I don't have to customize it in the actual config myself.
Instead, I require your assistance. Are you listening? Activate your flashlight.
Right here, that dialogue, I'm not too sure what she wants me to fix. It's kind of... Okay. I think that dialogue should have been first. But, you know, I'm not a designer, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, I don't know, for me it was just a little bit strange. Let me know what you think. But, yeah. Alright, so Solarix... Oh, fuck. Hold on. Okay, so you will notice that a lot of the textures don't really have defining details. Like, when you go a bit close to them, they are a little bit blurry. That's basically because Pulsetense didn't really have much of a budget, but I do like their character models, and you can see there that the lighting is a little bit busted. It doesn't really show them at close range. And this is what... I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't like the circle flashlight. I said it in Alien Isolation, and I'll say it again. It's just silly. It doesn't really look like a flashlight. It just basically looks like a lit up circle of light. That's my personal opinion, but I believe it doesn't really look like a light. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But anyway, I'll also excuse me, show you a bug that I've experienced and played around with many hours in a moment, because it's not fixed yet, and this is a little bit of a updated build as to what I had. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it's like I think that shouldn't really be there, because it's just kind of random noise. It doesn't really have any meaning towards it, so it shouldn't happen unless there's enemies around. But yeah, this blood trail kind of ends. Just pointing that out. This thing, Pulsetense, make this a fucking weapon. This would be so cool to whack those people. Oh my god. Please add it as a melee weapon. Please. Because it's got a handle, mate. Come on. Ooh. Okay. So I'll get in an area. If you didn't understand what was going on then, I was kind of levitating. I'll explain it in a moment. Because it's like an open bit around this corner. So shh, just wait. You'll see. But collision with objects is still a bit buggy. As you can see, it kind of goes a little bit silly when you interact with other, like with the walls and stuff. It goes a little bit weird. But this bug is kind of cool though. It is a little bit weird. All you got to do is look down and jump, and you start to like float upwards. It's a little bit funny. But yeah, I found out how to get out of the map using this, so hopefully Pulsetense can actually fix it. It is a fun bug to play around with, but you know, hopefully by the finished product it won't be there. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Go over. Okay, so collision again, a little bit busted here. Doesn't actually allow me to walk over it. And the walking sort of noise on the tin is I believe it's a stock sound. It sounds a little bit too much like tin. Like, I don't believe, unless you're wearing high heels, I don't believe it would sound like this. There's a few instances where pipes aren't really leading to anything. Just want to point that out because I only just noticed it actually. Because before I wasn't really paying attention to that sort of stuff. In the first build I got, I was, but I thought they would have fixed some of the stuff by now, but apparently not. We can't go through this elevator yet, but if you do that floating bug, you can skip this entire tutorial. So I'm not going to do that because I want to show you guys what it is. To show you a little bit more about what Solarix actually is. Because I want to find this guy that's around here because I don't exactly know where they put him. because I noticed that a lot of, like, not a lot of things, but a few things were changed. So I think they added a guy around. Not this one. But that's not really scary, guys. Like, it's not. It doesn't really focus you onto that section either. So you kind of like, even if you were just like walking this way, you wouldn't have seen it anyway. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of useless to me. What I would have liked to see if they actually had animations or custom animations, I'll get into that in a moment, but I would have liked to see the guy or the enemy sort of go up to this, I don't know what you'd call this, but this thing, and sort of like shake it a bit, because that would have been cool. Like, that would have scared me a little bit, because it would have made a lot of noise, they would have started growling, and all that sort of thing. It's kind of actually through the ground there. It looks like they actually put a little bit of texture on the top there. Come on, man. This is not fixed yet either. Like, it's just a little bit of those things that, or those bugs or those issues that I find still actually in the game. This bit here is changed because they told me they were going to change it, but the power cell originally was on the ground here. And this wasn't actually, I don't think you could interact with this, but one thing that kind of is a bit iffy for me is the box around the objects and stuff. You'll notice that more towards the inner bits of the game, because you start to get into like the UI for like control panels and stuff like that, and it still happens then. I'm not really a fan of it, and I never have been, but the guys over at Pulsetense know that. I felt that way, but anyway, this bit here, I would have liked to see a interact key, like I click E to interact or use, because just walking past it doesn't really kind of make me feel like I did anything. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
In order to keep you from harm, I would suggest crouching when hostiles are in the vicinity.
Yeah, here we go.
Crouching will allow you
Should be
to
around here somewhere.
around the environment without being heard. If you walk or run, hostiles will hear your
Oh yeah, hello mate.
This is a previously mentioned.
I have no idea how that just falls, because that's different.
You will have to sneak past it by crouching and staying out of its line.
This guy was never there before.
Oh, you poor thing.
So this will give you a basic idea as to how the sort of stealth will work in Solarix. You know, it's not the greatest stealth, but you know, it is decent. I'm not really a stealth guy, so I didn't really see, you know, the stealth aspect as an enjoyable experience. But that's just me. You guys might enjoy the stealth, because you guys, if you've watched my channel before, you'll notice that I don't like stealth games. And that, you know, basically made me think, well, okay, I don't really like this. What is going on here?
Let me in. Please, they're everywhere. Let me in.
I don't think this was closed. Huh, okay. So, it's actually closed now. Because beforehand it was open, and I told them about that floating bug where you could just like skip this entire bit. And they must have fixed it, I think. Cool.
Vacate the premises and we will discuss our situation. Thank you.
Okay, so this is your little hack tool.
The modified hacking module can be used to bypass firewalls and
But you gotta be a little bit close to them.
them.
A little bit too far away.
Stay close to the system in question and hold down the fire button.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a little bit too long. It's like, come on, hurry up. But other times you get it with like, you know, 2 seconds. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, you poor thing. You ain't got the slightest idea what's going on, do you?
The blood's a little bit bugged.
Trapped in its crib. Go find a walkie-talkie so we can talk
Not
without
too sure what's
Eva
going on
listening.
there.
She's got ears everywhere. What a creep.
Oh, they didn't fix this one. Ah! Pulsetense. You didn't fix this. Okay, so I'm back. I didn't realize that I could use... Well, I did realize after this, but I had to do this entire bit again. But when I got here, I realized that I could use no clip. So, derp on my part. But just documenting where this clipping is, or not really solid wall. I think I told them before, but they sort of went, no one will really figure this out, so fuck it. Well, I did quite easily. But yeah. Anyway, go through. I think I'm stuck. I don't know what's going on here. Yep, there we go. Alright.
Oh, you poor thing. You ain't got the slightest idea what's going on, do you? You're like a baby trapped in its crib. Go find a walkie-talkie so we can talk without Amy listening. She's got ears everywhere. What a creep.
Solarix. Sorry, I keep getting messages from the developer because I accidentally put or told them about an issue that wasn't actually an issue. That was on my part being a total derp, but anyway. Do you want to open the crate? Open. Thank you. Okay, now this is where we start. Oh! I'll explain why I'm actually jizzing right now in a moment after this bitch fucking stops talking. Okay, so beforehand you had to deal with... Oh, for fuck's sake, shut up!
Modified from a prototype rad counter. You can find this on the bottom left of your screen. When in darkness, it will be black, but when in lit areas, it will turn flashing white.
Yeah, like this. So it's got an indicator. I didn't actually go through that, excuse me. But when you're in shadows or whatever, it will show up as black. If you're not really sure what I'm talking about, it's above the red health line in the bottom left corner. And if you start to go into the light, you'll see that it changes to a slight grey, or flickering white and grey. But then when you go into the light, it'll go flashing white, which is kind of cool. Okay, so there's one of two ways to complete this part, but I wouldn't suggest you guys go guns blazing because you probably won't ever find ammo again. I've notified the developers that they should add more ammo in the game, so hopefully in this build they have. But when I played it, they basically had no more pistol ammo, and I couldn't continue the game because I had to kill a person to continue, or well, I had to kill him because he was kind of chasing me. And wouldn't ever stop. So yeah, that kind of issue is kind of annoying. But another issue that I still noticed here is if you're walking, sometimes if you crouch you can't continue walking, which is a little bit annoying to say the least. But anyway, alongside that, you'll see that there's a crosshair. For me, this is actually quite exciting because if you notice, or if you have watched any other gameplay ever for Solarix and they hold up the pistol, you notice that there was a sort of red dot sight, which was kind of bugged to shit, might I say. It was kind of really bugged, because sometimes, like, if you're looking at something and you sort of like slowly moved away, the red dot would stay in that position, like where that object ended. So this to me is a really good sight. I'm enjoying the fact that they actually have a crosshair now, which is really good. I don't know whether the guns will actually work with the crosshair. Let's find out. Fuck yes, they do. Sweet.
Walk up to the body and press the interact button to pick it up and move it to a safe location.
Yeah, you can also pick up objects to sort of distract them. I'll show you that in a second. If I can find the other one. Yep, there he is. I think there's another one around here. No? Okay. Whoops. There's a guy over here. If we chuck this at him, you can't really hear it. The only time that they hear objects being thrown or hitting the ground is if they're really close to them. Which, like, I threw it close then, but he's like, nah, I didn't even hear anything. It's fine. Like, I think that they should allow the enemies to sort of hear it from a longer distance.
I cannot guarantee unlimited radio communication.
because I think that would kind of make stealth a bit more enjoyable, because I'd start throwing objects around more. But most of the game I played, it was either me sprinting everywhere or just crouched, just to get past people.
Considerably.
Oh, he speaks. What? I wasn't aware of that dialogue, so excuse me for that. I didn't know that he spoke, because when I was playing this, I actually turned down all the volume. Oh, that's a shame. They still haven't fixed the lighting issue here. Kind of flickers shadowing and lighting. It's really weird there. Please, Pulsetense, fix it. Fix it, please. 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 Alright. I think that this is enough gameplay footage for one first impressions, but you get the idea. It's a stealth game. It's kind of cool. It's got a few issues. It was a game that was developed with an extremely limited budget, as well as, you know, it had a few people working on it. I don't know how many exactly, because I wasn't told the exact number, but, you know, those people had jobs as well, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But the game is pretty decent for what it is. It is their first game, so I will give them some leeway for that, and it's indie, so, you know. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my first impressions for Solarix, and I hope you guys pick up the game when it comes out. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.